Yes, three Canon projects back to back, like London buses. You wait an age, and you see two, three, maybe four come all at the same time. But anyway, so we've got someone who's making their debut. We've got a regular who's loves playing some tunes, and we've got the first lady of Canon 4 TV. But we're going to get into this one on the other side of this music intro. Yes, indeed, we are back again in full effect on another, Canon Project segment on Canon 4 TV on this Wednesday evening show over here. And we've got someone making their debut. Who's that? You'll find out in a second. Eltel, how are you, geezer?
I'm good, yeah. Christmas bash. I've been rehearsing songs for our forthcoming extravaganza with all our Christmas songs. And Ange will remember this one. We will live forevermore because of Boxing Day, when I think Liam Brady scored a blood. We won 5-1 or 5-0.
Yeah, before my time. Anyway,
Liam Brady is not before your time. You can bluff some people.
Anyway, swiftly on. Ange, first lady of Canon 4 TV. It's been a long time since we shared the same screen. How are you? How are you?
Thank you. I'm very good. And as we're talking, I'm watching our wonderful ladies. Really hope they can get a goal because they're creating a lot of chances. Although these Zurich women are quite feisty, obviously, as they're at home.
And actually, I've got to say, Ange, thank you to you and Richard for doing the Thursday night football show. Wonderful segment. Really good. I do really enjoy it. Yeah. And actually, Ange will be back tomorrow, 8 p.m., kind of reviewing the FC Zurich versus Arsenal women's game. And hopefully, during this live segment here, Ange will be giving us some updates on the scoreline. Is that all right, Ange?
Hopefully, no.
All right, okay.
Anymore than we got now.
All right. And the person who's making their debut, Prosper.
Yes. Hi. Hello, Canon family and all Ghanas out there. This is Prosper from Malawi.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just around the corner, Malawi. Anyway, welcome, Prosper. Hope it's the first time or not the last time we'll see you on a live show.
Not the last time. Definitely not the last time.
Absolutely. So let's get into I think maybe the first segment, and I thought let's ask this question: which of these players? Because I've just been reading the news over the last few days. There's three players, key players, who have yet to sign contract extensions. Ange, and I'm asking a question. You know, for you, which one or which player or which players you think are most important that we need to get their contract signed? And don't tell me all three, please. Who?
Okay. Well, first of all, as we've all seen on social media, and I'm sorry, until Arsenal, let alone the man's name we don't mentions it.
Yeah.
Martinelli.
Yeah.
And the love he has for us, he's already. Oh, they've got a goal. I couldn't tell you it is next. They're all cutting each other. Whoever it was. Sorry. Martinelli, definitely.
Right. Okay. I won't ask you why. Eltel, who? Which?
All the big managers, not just in the EPL, but around Europe. And there was a match about 2 years ago we played, and I think we might have won it or drawn. We had a good result, either a draw. And I was at the stadium, and I noticed Klopp racing across and he put his arm round Saka. This is at the end of 90 minutes. Had a private conversation, and I thought, tapping up. That's tapping up. Sure, Arteta and his boys noticed it, and would have definitely been saying back room there. So there's no doubt that Klopp wants him. Go out and said it. I mean, it's fair enough if you say it up front, but don't go behind. The club absolutely admires him. Everybody that watched the World Cup admired him. Be my number one. I know he loves the club, and doing is they're picking the low-hanging fruit. Dare I say it that way? To up who, I mean, his ceiling is phenomenal. He's the Brazilians we have ever seen, but he's young. He's in his own country, so he's very, very happy at Arsenal from all the stuff I've read, and he's happy. I think he'll sign, and Arsenal are doing it in this order so that they get people signing, and I think out of those three, Saka is the important.
Prosper, to you, which player do you think out of those three is the most important?
Well, first and foremost, all three players are 21 years of age. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yep.
Yeah, all three players are 21 years of age, so it's kind of difficult to tell who we should sign first, but I would go for Gabriel Martinelli because I've looked at the commitment for the player, the patience he has when he's not in the game is something we should also consider. As for Saka, I don't think he is a player who can go on the bench for about 2-3 weeks and stay on the bench and become. He would cause a lot of dressing room problems. For Saliba, well, his commitment is yet to be tested. I see him as a player who might go to Real Madrid or any other bigger club than Arsenal. So I think Martinelli and his quality, he has more to offer the club.
Wow. Not Saliba. Not Saliba.
For Saliba, I feel at some point he'll just say, "I'm leaving." I haven't yet seen his commitment, but his quality is also good. He stabilized that defense. But I have questions on his commitment.
Yeah. What about you, Ange? Do you have any question marks over William Saliba's commitment to Arsenal?
Yeah, I do. I mean, let's be blunt here. None of us knew if he had to come back. But so far, he's more than a real deal. But yeah, I totally agree with Prosper. You just don't know with him. Yeah, I think this is why I'm going Gabriel Martinelli. The commitment is so there. We can see that. And yeah, Saliba, I really don't know. I just feel blessed we got him now, and I hope we can keep him. But that's down to him, isn't it?
Yeah.
And as for Saka, an interesting little story. Caught up with Mummy the other day, did a bit of an early cribbo dinner, and of course my brother-in-law is Spursy.
Sorry.
And it turns sorry to bring that to the chat. Sorry. What did he say? Now, he lives in a very nice part of Hertfordshire. Very nice part, which I'm pretty sure quite a lot of the Arsenal players live near. And he actually said to me that Saka lives around the corner from him, which I can well believe. And at which point I thought, I'm not going to ask where, because I don't want to go and troll the poor guy's house begging him to stay. That can't be done. I would love him. Do you know what? Yeah, so spot on. He won't be sitting on the bench. It's another one, whoever that one was right next. So I'll turn you up with yeah, of course we love it. I mean, gosh, he's been at the academy. You know, how long's he been with us? How old was he? Was he 8? Younger?
Yeah.
He's an amazing player. He really is a star boy. He's a lovely young man. Of course we'd love him to stay, but yeah, there's a lot sniffing around. I truly hope he's got the commitment of the Arsenal, because as long as he's with us, he'll be the true superstar. He really will. And he's loved.
Tell, would the fan base be overly upset if the star boy didn't sign a contract extension and made it very plainly clear that he wanted to go and play for another club? Do you think we'd be overly upset?
Which one are you talking about? about? Which guy?
Bukayo Saka.
Oh, Saka. Yeah, know your football. You saw Saka on, if you like, the sort of world stage, World Cup, and he looked wonderful. Even people that are not Arsenal fans were going, he was probably tournament. So I think the fans would be blindingly upset. It's going to happen. I think he's a sensible lad. He's a London boy. I don't the club handle him properly and pay him well. Saliba is a different thing. Now we did a bad thing on signed him, and I rate him very, very highly. We sort of loaned him back to Saint Etienne, and in the whole process of all of this has happened to the poor lad. First of all, his father died, if I remember rightly. And his hometown club got through to the French Cup final, and outside the June deadline, whereby he technically had to come back to Arsenal to not play for his hometown club in the final, which and those two things, losing his dad at a tender age, and then he couldn't play for his hometown club, and all of that, we definitely got it wrong, and I hope Arteta knows that, and I hope he's been apologized, because I would hate to see Saliba go. He's got everyone in the centre back, and you know what? We've all seen this with Liverpool. When he's injured, they're not half the team. Now we've got a possible. He's got the same build, the same pace, the same sense of where he should. Good in the air, he's good on the ground. Wonderful defender in all respects. To see him go, and Arsenal have got to push out the boat, get Kroenke over to talk to him and say, look, we can build this club around you, and try to do everything, get him a nice house in a nice area, family. There's only his mum left, and maybe he's got brothers and stuff, and his girlfriend. Make him feel that this club values him. He's a young guy, and if you're 22, it's a lot. As well as being paid big money, let's show him we value.
For you, Prosper, would you be overly upset if Martinelli didn't sign a contract extension? Like you said at the beginning, they're all age 21. The world is their oyster. So would you be upset if he didn't sign an extension?
I think I would quit the club for a week or two. I wouldn't watch Arsenal for a week or two. Seriously speaking, I mean, when Martinelli first joined Arsenal, if people remember very well, we had a Chelsea game, and I think Aubameyang wasn't around. Martinelli had to fit in. We won that game because Martinelli was just awesome. He really made those defenders work, and he was brave. From then on, I ticked Martinelli. I gave him a tick. He's the player we need. So there's more to come from him.
Can I just interject then? Two things that Arteta has said. One very recently and go. First of all, the most recent one, he did moot the idea that we could, if we don't get another for Jesus being injured, and if Eddie Nketiah doesn't mention, you can play Martinelli in the middle. But he also mentioned that he's the best timer of a header, and he scored a goal about a wonderful near post run. So he's got, heading is not just about being your run. So I think if you read between the lines, well, be a player that Arteta's thinking of moving into the centre at some point.
Yeah. Ange, do you want to say anything before we move on to the next segment, Ange, on that? Or
yeah, sorry. Okay, we're going to get another goal. We have next, but yeah, back to the point in hand. bottom line, we need all three of them to sign.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally get the thing. Yeah, with Martinelli, you've got a player who could very well play up front, and it's looking that way. And I know that'll be another part of your set. Yeah.
Well said. All right, let's go on to the second segment. We're going through this quite rapidly. It's going to be a short show. How many signings in January do Prosper? How many players do you think we will buy? But how many in reality do you think should come to Arsenal? If that makes any sense.
In terms of signings, I think if it were up to me, we need 2 center forwards. 1 6-foot center forward, and another one probably Gabriel Jesus' stature and qualities. Then we also need 2 defending midfielders, box-to-box defending midfielders.
Yeah.
Those are the key positions.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, but if you look around pretty well, that we can get around 20-30 million.
Wow. Okay. Eltel.
I'd agree with Prosper there. We certainly need a forward, and Dusan Vlahovic, who went to Juve, hasn't been doing very well. And I'm a great believer in a big centre forward. You need a friend. Giroud at the tender age of 36 he stole in front of Harry Maguire and scored the winning that I shouldn't really mention. So I always think it's nice to have but definitely go for a tall forward, and Arteta's got this thing about left and right footed players welted, so that fits it perfectly. And he's a big guy and very good in the air. And people forget that Partey, despite not having any injuries at Atleti, he's been constantly injured when he's playing for us. I think the EPL is too fast for him. He's doing muscle injuries, soft tissue injuries all the time. So I'd be in to cover him. Look, Conga hasn't looked the part. It's got there's a lot of things about him that's good, but I think, as does Reece Nelson, another player I really like. So if Partey gets injured, which is unfortunately, we've only got El Neni there, and El Neni just passes the ball around, but the wonderful stuff that Partey does when Partey's on form. So that's that I would be definitely looking at straight away.
Ange, do we need to go into the market in January and buy players? Because is there not a fear that we might upset the apple cart if we buy a striker and a defensive midfielder? Is that not going to upset the balance, the synergy amongst the players, Ange?
Well, that is a very good question, and that's one of the things Arteta's worked so hard on. As long as Partey and Xhaka have got legs and they can run and do what they do, I know you need backup for them. I appreciate that, and then it's also looking towards the future, because obviously getting slightly mature now. As for this forward business, you could hold number 9. Yeah, I totally agree with Tel there. Yeah, you need your big strapping striker, but I'm sorry, I wouldn't have that served next. What's his name?
Vlahovic.
Vlahovic.
No,
Dusan Vlahovic.
I'm sorry, he wouldn't fit in. He would not fit in. Not with that voice. End of. Sorry. And also, Jesus is the man. We know he hasn't scored many goals, but we know what he brings, what he contributes, and that's his slot, isn't it? When he comes back, so that's a tricky one. What I am gutted about, because they go on about, and basically someone who studying Saka, isn't it? That's the thing. Is someone studying Saka, but so I'm gutted about Reece Nelson.
Yeah, Yeah,
How
likewise.
lucky
Yeah,
is that poor bloke? I'm gutted for him.
yeah,
I really
yeah.
am. Or maybe it'll do a bit of a
Maybe,
favour, keep him there longer.
yeah,
I
maybe
don't know.
can I just,
Yeah, sorry, Prosper.
yeah, maybe can I just add on a few points here? He mentioned Dusan Vlahovic. That's the man I would sign for Arsenal as well, because we've got short strikers, nimble, fast, skilled, but we don't have that aerial presence on the number 9 position. So if you look at Manchester City, they haven't won the Champions League because Guardiola has always had these short number 9s. He's always had problems with big boys like Ibrahimovic. It's just his style of play, and it hasn't worked well for him in the Champions League. So he's tried to spice it up this time around, and Man City is a whole different threat this time around. And I'm sure they'll do much better in the Champions League. As for our defending midfielder, honestly speaking, Partey, Lukonga, and the rest of the guys were not naturally defending midfielders. Those guys are proper center midfielders. Even Partey, you can see by his creativity, how he passes the ball. He's a center midfielder, only that we lack in that defensive midfield position. I would go for Boubacar Traore, the boy who's playing for Wolves from Metz. He's on loan. Remember when we played Wolves, Boubacar Traore, not Adama Traore. That boy really worked our midfield. The whole 90 minutes, he really put in a shift. He's only 21. I think if we would get him, he would be cheap because Metz is in the second league of the French league. He would be cheap, but he would be a good backup for Partey.
What about the Moroccan midfielder, Sofiane Amrabat?
I would look at age. How old is he?
Good question.
Yeah.
He might. Yeah, good question. I think he's probably 27.
Yeah, because we're also looking at synergy. You don't get a big player like him and put him on bench. First, the younger ones would sit on bench, would accept to wait their time.
What about that Irish Argentinian lads? All the Irish. I'll tell you, we are definitely claiming him.
Alexis McAllister. No, he's more of an attacking midfielder. And honestly speaking, we've got so much talent there.
I want to see as many Irish people playing for Arsenal as possible. Even if it's 5 generations back.
And very quickly, are you saying no to Vlahovic? Because why are you saying no to Vlahovic? You just don't. Why did you say
no? He just wouldn't fit in. He really wouldn't. I could be. No, I know I'm right. He just wouldn't fit in. Simple. Yeah, I'm not even going to just. I just know he wouldn't fit in. He's just not the right fit. To be honest, obviously we get linked with everybody. We all find it something amusing. But he's talented. He's tall. And actually, another big argument: how quickly could he adapt to the Premiership?
So, Angie, a lot of people are saying, with regard to that we should get Ivan Toney. He's about 6'1", so he's not as tall as the other guy, but he is a hand the other day, and he's got a whole load of court cases coming up.
Yes,
because he's placing a lot of bets. They're bets.
We don't want him. We don't want him. And any updates? Scoreline. FC Zurich.
Yeah, sorry, it's 3-0 now, and Frida, she got her brace, so she's doing really well. So thank God, because we haven't got Viv at the moment, because she's been sidelined. That was gutting, but yeah, now the girls are in control here, so that's all very good.
Good.
Actually, right. Just one final thing: are we likely to see Yuri in January? Hang on.
No, we're here.
Really, sorry. I always start by what I said.
It's all gone quiet.
You allegedly
over there.
just bought a house down south. But are we getting it?
Personally, I don't think it's going to happen because it's taking an age. The player has already said to his players and his manager that he wants to come to Arsenal. I don't know. Are Arsenal waiting to get him on a free? I think for the duration, I don't personally think it's going to happen. And like Prosper said, we need a defensive midfielder. He's not a defensive midfielder. But
that's really common.
Yeah. All right, on to the last segment. Oh, we're back in Premier League action. I hear you say, yeah, against West Ham. Predictions, Eltel?
Well, I should ask my son. He predicted Argentina winning the. Well, I should ask him really, but this is a big match, and you've got to throw everything because a win against West Ham. Let's call it 2-0. If we draw, or God forbid lose, then suddenly our momentum changes. If I was him, I'd be treating this like a cup final.
Yeah.
I know every match is a cup final, but if we can get off, thank God we're at home for the. It's on Boxing Day, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So one where the stadium's going to be packed, London's going to be packed. It's going to be, Arsenal have got to. I'm sorry, I'm not an Nketiah fan, but I proves me wrong. There you go.
Yeah. Prosper, Arsenal versus West Ham.
I'm going for 2-0 or 2-1. We're winning the game.
Okay. Nice, short and sweet. Ange.
Even shorter and sweeter. Keeping the faith. Next. I'm going for a win. I'm going to believe in Eddie. I love that guy. I'm going to believe in him. He needs to show the Arsenal world what he's made of. And I know he's been doing extra training. Yeah, I'm putting my faith in Eddie.
Yeah. So am I. I know he gets given a hard time, but he's only got to go out there and prove himself. Now that Jesus is out for 3 months, he's got the opportunity now. So that £100,000 a week, a number 14 shirt, a 5-year contract. Now is his time to prove all the doubters wrong and prove me right. But anyway, let's go to live chat for the first and last time, actually. We've got our moderator, Ashley D, says, hey up, Gooners. Welcome, everyone, to Cannon for the TV. We've got the English Conversation Club, says, First Lady. You got a fan there. Colin says, hello, Alex, and the panel. Chatty chatters, smash that like button up.
Thank you, Colin.
Conversation Club says, good to see you back. You need to be hosting your own show, First Lady. Right. Yeah, okay, we'll sort something out. And Colin says, Saliba is a Cadillac. Is he? I thought it's a human being. Special one time only, made edition Cadillac. Absolutely must sign Saliba. He goes on to say, Cannon for a family. Let's go smash the like button. Thank you for that, Colin. And greetings from Costa Rica. Thank you for that, Gabrielle. I know the person. 2 signings. S create a rotation for Partey and Xhaka. Imagine Wilfried Zaha. I'm not sold on Wilfried Zaha at Arsenal. Prosper. No.
We've got Martinelli.
Yeah. For you, Ange? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with Prosper definitely. I'm not being, but let's be blunt. I'm totally saying, I mean, he keeps the oldies on that he wants to keep on. He's not going to go and out net one. We know that.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Wilfried Zaha. I just can't see it.
Yeah. Who else do we have? And actually, that's it. That is it. We are out. We're out inside. Well, just over 30 minutes. So I'll tell you can go and have your family friends meeting. I can attend to my guest minute. But I tell you what, really good to see you back, First Lady. And like I said, Ange is going to be back tomorrow, 8 p.m.
Yep. Yeah,
8
tomorrow,
p.m.
Richard.
Yep. There you go. Reviewing the FC Zurich versus
Watching the
Ars
game.
FC late women's 8 p.m. Thursday night football. So I can't wait for that one. Prosper, finally we got you on the channel. Finally.
Nice one.
What are you doing on Friday?
I'm available on Friday.
Come on Friday.
Awesome.
Nice one. And of course, Eltel, the Richard Godfather, thank you. Stay safe and well. So to the family from us, Eltel.
Yeah, we'll do.
We're gonna.
And I've got a few Christmas songs lined up for my next book. And if you're watching, hello. Tim's been giving me requests. I said, as long as you don't Rhapsody, I'm fairly safe.
As you're saying that, yeah. Whoops, what's happened there? Oh, he's gone out. Anyway, Tim has come in and says, Christmas greetings to all from across the Irish Sea. There you go, fantastic. So I will not be back tomorrow because we've got the Thursday night football with Ange and Richard, of course. So this week I'm going to be enjoying myself, maybe eating some pies, not turkey just yet. But to my panelists and of course Prosper, who's just disappeared, this has been Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all